got to be really careful on what I post on various social media platforms,
Yes.
how I interact with certain people now.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll go on Facebook just to see what other people post, so I know what, conversations to avoid.
Is that, I feel like that's almost a modern phenomenon.
Yeah.
Where we almost have to do this kind of a handshake where we whisper secret dog whistles to one another to make sure we're cool because people are so divided.
Yeah, it's weird.
Is it a modern phenomenon, do you suppose?
I think people just have way too much information out there.
Yeah,
and
yes.
They don't really understand what kind of resources they're actually consuming. And a lot of it's 5-second clips instead of actually reading history books.
Well, so I before the internet, those of us who are old enough to remember the 90s, I think the idea was, man, people are just so ignorant. If only they had enough information. But I think modernity has shown us that enough information is not the problem.
It's the right information.
Well, who gets to decide what the right information is?
Right. No, valid point. Valid.
Welcome to the show where we explore the who, what, where, how, and why of the extraordinary people who define our north of normal metro. I'm Conrad Fargo, and this is the Fargo Five. Today we have Zach Petty with Legato Networks. Hello, Zach.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Go ahead. Why don't you tell us who you are and what it is that you do?
Yeah, my name is Zach Petty. I am the founder and CEO of a platform called Legato Networks, designed to connect local musicians, the underdog musicians, so to speak, for jam sessions, collaborations. If you're looking to join a band, build your own, or just being able to network with those local artists around you. We stripped away a lot of the stuff that typical social media platforms have, like the feed, the like button, and we just bring it back. We're bringing it back to where we're not trying to create an unnatural dopamine hit for like every time you log in. The idea is being able to, we're not trying to rob people's attention and their time by keeping them hooked on the platform. The idea is just to find what you need and then get on with your day. So,
well, in a market filled with addictive products, that might be
difficult.
That might be challenging if you're trying to
believe
avoid
me,
the addictive.
It's been difficult to try to change the perspective because we are looked at as a social media platform. We do have a few different traits of a social media platform, but overall, we're just trying to get people, trying to connect people digitally to plug in locally and actually get together, because that's one thing.
Like in a face-to-face context.
Yes, people actually want to do that. It's just
they do.
It's like people are afraid to post online, or they're afraid of certain backlash or whatnot.
Just like what we were talking about.
Yeah, and we just stripped it down to where your basic interests. What are you looking to do, and when, and everything else you could talk about that in person. But it just based locally. We are nationwide, but we're solely focusing on the Fargo Moorhead area, just because it's so, even though the population isn't as high as like Miami or Seattle or Phoenix, the general public, like as far as the arts go, is so rich and powerful, and that arts community in general, just from being on social media, Facebook more now than ever before. It's crazy. I've been getting a lot of good feedback. So,
this is very interesting to me. So I've actually had similar ideas in the past. So I want to explore more about the app, and I want to hear more about the app. Can you maybe pick your mic up a little bit so it's straight? There you go.
That good.
And then what I want to. Just because of the format of the show, what I want to open up with is what your day-to-day is like. So you said you're a CEO.
Yes.
A lot of people take on that title when they first start a business, but are you part of an organization? Do you have a board? Or
we do have I wouldn't say necessarily a board because we don't have funding yet.
Yeah.
But I do have 6 other team members under me.
Okay.
So 2 designers that are awesome. One of them actually works at Amazon Music, and then he's worked for Meta, and then I got another one who he's my first intern, and he's been great. Named Zoen. And then my VP, who does all administrative work and helps me with my pitches, we tag team different when it comes to talking to angel investors. He is actually one of Cher's lead choreographers, Cher the pop star. He's traveled with Madonna. He knows people on The Voice. So it's just a matter.
Cher as in Sherilyn, like the pop star, like Sonny and Cher.
Yes,
Cher.
yes, that Cher.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've got a solid team. It's just a matter of density. It's a matter of just we're not trying to blow up right away. We're trying to figure out making sure we're doing it right.
So your team's not all from Fargo.
No, I'm the only one from Fargo.
Yeah, you're the only Fargo-based guy.
Yes.
Okay, so what is at this stage, how old is the app?
It's a little over 2 years,
2 years.
In the making.
Okay.
It's just finding the right developers to work for free, essentially for equity. It's been painstakingly hard because the revolving door of an engineer lasts about 3 to 6 months for excitement and being trying to recruit people. Like, I'm able to bring people on. It's just a matter of, can we actually, because I'm not a coder. I tried that before. I even bought a C++ book thinking I was going to be, I'll build it myself. No.
Yeah.
My ADHD wouldn't handle that, and then sitting at a computer, 24/7. It's not my DNA. I'm more of a boots on the ground, more of a in person, talking with people, and not staring at a screen all day.
So what are you doing day to day at this stage in the game? The app is launched.
Yes.
I think you had sent me. So to be honest, I wasn't quite sure you were real when you first. Well, because you reached out via social media, and I was like, okay. And I could have looked into the profile and done stuff. I didn't because I'm an idiot. Yeah. And I did what I normally do. It's very easy to get on the show. Yeah. I'll shoot you my cell phone number real quick. You text
Surprisingly
me.
easy.
Yeah. You text me. We're booking up into April, but usually it's somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who's reaching out to me. And then the first thing you did was shotgun me to check out your app, and that raised an eyebrow. Right? I was like, well, who is this guy? What is this? He wants me to download his app. What? I didn't even think you were real. And then the next thing, you wanted me to take a phone call, which again, people are trying to call all the time. It's a modern problem. The phones don't even work anymore, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, also I got to watch how I promote the brand, because it does come off as spam, and that's one thing I'm afraid of, because it's there's been a handful of times in the past month where people don't even respond until they see another person that I'm mutual friends with on Facebook, and then this guy is not just trying to get me to download some random.
Yeah, that is the. The problem with, again, modernity, it just like what we opened up with, there's too much.
It is too much.
So much.
And also, I'm friends with a band called 49th Apparel. Hats off to Hannah and Josh. After talking with them about it, like, everyone loves the idea and the concept. It's just getting it. People look at it as another social media app, and I get that. So just changing the perspective is going to take time. It's not going to be overnight. And
I'm the guy who refuses to whatever the app is. Yeah. Like, I've got all these things that are like, we're going to give you, just download our app. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. No, I get it.
I cut off a referral source. I'm in real estate, and we're always looking for real estate, right? Yeah. And they switched over. They said, if you want to get our referrals, you got to download our app. I just cut them off. Yeah. Because I'm not downloading one more app. Like, that's a tough hurdle to get over.
Yeah, I get it. So it's just it's what I'm doing right now, my day-to-day. I spend about 2-3 hours a day on LinkedIn, exhausting, trying to get the right people, get through the door of which is angel investors. But day-to-day is just conversations with actual musicians in person, and not pitching like, hey, get on the app. It's more so of, what are you looking to do? Are you what is your ultimate goal? Because there are certain musicians that we wouldn't be of value to them yet. So they're not my key target audience, but also I'm genuinely curious about what they are trying to do as an artist themselves, without jumping right into it, just because it's an authentic, and honestly, like, if I don't feel like it would serve a particular musician right out the gate, then I'm not going to pitch it to them. It's a waste of their time.
Well, and why musicians? What is it that you're pitching, or what's the revenue model on in all of this here?
So we can't really generate revenue until we actually have the full build out, which is we eventually will have a thing called the activity log, and it's similar key performance indicators as Uber. Like, if you order an Uber, you can see how many rides they've done and how cleanliness their car is, or vice versa. An Uber driver could see a passenger, were they rude? Certain stuff like that, and that's one of the things we found within the arts community, like worldwide in general, is are they going to show up on time? Will they come equipped with their own gear? Are they respectful? Will they respect my time, or are they just gonna ghost? So if we came up with an idea just through user research, talking with other musicians. If you could prove that, that like if I came across your profile and I saw how many jam sessions you've done or collaborations and who you've done them with and possibly when, not like all details, but enough transparency to be like, oh, like they're gonna actually show up on time. Oh, they've done so many jam sessions in the past month, like that they're serious about their art, but it's certain stuff like that, and other platforms they have attempted to do what we're doing, according to certain investors I've talked with. The problem is they're trying to copy everything that Facebook has done, everything that Snapchat has done, and there's just too many bells and whistles, and that's what keeps the user hooked. And
you have a vision of more stripping it down.
Yes,
less is more kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So for my sins, one of my many college degrees is in communications.
Yeah.
And we had to make a website, and everybody made these big fancy websites. I copied Google, where the website was just one single line. And then everything was in there. Because, like, if you think about Google and Yahoo, remember how Yahoo was the big one? You're old enough, right? And it had every single, you go to the Yahoo homepage, every single bells and whistles.
Yes.
But what's the Google homepage? Just the search bar.
Yeah.
Right? And so I would tend to agree with you on the less is more.
The way I look at it, too, it's like when I pitch it to investors, and not the Gen Z probably won't remember when the first iPod came out, but it's like when the MP3 market was flooded with like hundreds of different variations of, and it had more space for music to listen to, but no one could figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, I know this from personal experience because I bought 2 MP3 players before. I was like, okay, I want my iPod. Like right when they came out, and they were expensive when they were first launched.
Yeah.
But the user experience of the iPod was so simplistic that a 5-year-old could figure it out, and a 90-year-old could figure it out. And that's the kind of analogy I like to use, is straight to the point. There's not that you don't need everything right out the gate. You just, basic, simple. Am I going to get the job done? And so
you're talking my language. And I mean, even look at it. Yet another big changeover in the field. This is more direct. MySpace to Facebook.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? MySpace, you used to have to like set
MySpace.
up, but you would set up your own like website, and you had to like people had to come to your space and like do things. Whereas the simplicity of Facebook was like, no. You just it'll all be on one feed, and you just post.
Yeah.
Right? Like that simplicity where it's we're gonna strip things down and do only the simple. So I really like that, and so you're a man with an idea.
Yeah.
I could see that. And so you said to yourself, I'm going to get a team.
Yeah.
You can't do the coding, so you got some coders. You're spending most of your time pitching. You're in meetings either trying to find more coders and investors. So most of your day is spent, pitching people.
Yeah.
And just like trying to find raw users. And you have an eye for Fargo, for just the users and the bands? Are these all Fargo bands that you're talking with, or?
So there's a few Fargo bands. The one specific one for entrepreneurial, they're amazing. They're helping the brand as well. And then a band I've been talking with, I haven't met in person yet, called Perfectly Still. They're awesome. And then but mostly we're trying to get the underdog musicians who want to be in the scene, but they don't know how to get into the scene. And it's just flooded with, they're a part of all these Facebook music groups, or a part of messaging groups. But getting out there, the way I like to bring it, the way I like to mention it is, it's like if you've never done a push-up in your life or never worked out, and then all of a sudden you get your first gym membership is at Gold's Gym. You're going to go there one time and you're never going to return, because it's just too many people who look like that's all they do all day. And it's a bit uncomfortable. So we created somewhat of a platform to where if you turned 18, or you're slightly over 18, you picked up an acoustic guitar, but you don't know how serious you want to be, but you would love to learn, or you love to collaborate, or you want to get out there into the scene. The tool's meant for you, essentially. But once we get more and more density, then we'll have the time to actually build out for all musicians. But it's really meant for the underdogs that are curious. They want to build a band. They want to join. They want to start something. They just don't know where to start. So, yeah, creating less friction.
Your opening description of the app said it's about getting people in a room together, face to face, which is something that is exciting to me. I've played with that idea, and especially now with AI, you can just vibe code something, right? If I had the time and the energy, I would maybe try to sit down and solve something like that. Sounds like you've been working on it for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Has AI opened up very many doors for you as far as the coding, or have you not really explored that so much, or how's that?
So the AI, from what my CTO Dimitri had mentioned, because once ChatGPT came out, I was like, is this going to even work? So when it comes to apps, there's only so much AI right now can do. Like, you can't trust it to do you can trust it to do basic stuff like build websites, but to do exactly what we're needing to do, it's not there yet. So it is a bit of a concern in the very near future, but that's why we're like gas on the pedal right now until, just getting funding. But it's good. AI is good. It's just, you got to know what to use it for and not give it too much information about what you're doing. So
okay, yeah, we may have to agree to disagree with on that one. I want definitely an early adopter of AI, and I've been impressed with it. I as far as like giving it information, I don't know that we can avoid it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a Gmail account. Are you a big Proton Mail guy then, or what do you use, Gmail?
No, like I love AI. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I despise it. There's just certain things that you should be careful with on it. But no, I mean, people. There's been a few people I've reached out to, and they're like, "Well, what kind of does your app use any kind of AI?"
Yeah.
And I don't know how to say like. Your phone is AI.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I'm not asking you to integrate AI into your app. I'm saying the back end of it could be developed. You could use AI to walk you. You had that big C++ book.
Yeah,
AI will do better than C++ book for you, helping you get that going. But
the only form of AI we're using is your past search. Like, we're not studying your past searches necessarily. It's if you're looking for something specific, and it'll remember what you've looked for.
Sure.
But we're also not not trying to do ads. We're not trying. We'll be able to monetize once we actually get funding.
Do you have a user base?
Yeah, once we get a user base, and once we get the activity log, and once we get our second demographic is going to be venues and such as dive bars and coffee shops. Instead of them hiring somebody to find people to fill in the space. If you get we've partnered up with Babs Coffee, and then Side Street's kind of helping us out as well. But being able to find local musicians and maybe not even have to pay them necessarily, but it's more so of allowing local artists to get their feet wet, and that's the biggest problem. Is there's no platform out there for that.
And so, obviously, are you thinking that the user experience will be different? I mean, what is the user experience? Like, what is it like with the app on your phone? It must be different for a person using it than for a person
just hearing about it.
Well, no, because you seem to be, you want. It seems like you've got three separate targets with the app. You've got performers, event spaces, and then attenders. Right, people who attend, people who perform, and then the event space. Yeah. So, is it three separate apps, or is it a different login, or what? How is that broken up, and what is that?
Yeah. So we're looking to do a whole ecosystem. We've implemented social media apps within. Not so much of we're not trying to recreate the wheel. We've allowed users to add their own social media links into there, and eventually we'll be there's a mutual following system. So in order for me to let's say I connected with you, or I'm looking for a drummer, you're a drummer. In order for me to have access to your social media links, you need to follow me in return. And not many people have done that, and that was one of the reasons why a lot of women musicians have a hard time when it comes to other platforms. But the whole idea is musicians to venues, or musicians to venues, and then venues to fans, and then fans to local artists. So it's a whole ecosystem. But one of the things we've noticed too, and we've talked about this with other musicians, bands, and even venues, is you don't know when things have happened until the day of, or until after they have happened. So if we could create some kind of open mic night, or this band's playing over at Dempsey's, or this band's playing over at Side Street, so on and so forth. fans would love to know that before, a day before, or just the whole everything. There's just too many flaws right now.
Yeah. Well, there's too much information that isn't tailored to you. It's like a fire hose. You open it up, and so your app is really speaking to me on a lot of ways, and a lot of things that I talk about regularly. So you don't know me from Adam. Yeah. I spend a lot of time in small group settings with maybe 8 to 10 people. And we discuss small business problems. So I network. I do a lot of networking with other small business owners, and we talk. I mean, we all share in the problem as small business owners. That there is so much out, like everything. I always say, I get up, I say, pick up your phone and pull down the bar there. How many things want your attention? And at any time, my daycare is telling me about my kids. My Blink is telling me that somebody walked by. Gmail is giving me a notification, whatever. I received 3 texts and a missed call, and everybody wants a piece of me. And then I open it up, and I got ads yelling at me. Like, it's all so much.
Yeah.
And so it seems like you are maybe cutting through that by saying, well, we are going to pair you up with what it is that you want to be connected with, rather than just throwing as much at you based on your demographics. This is going to more so pair you up with things that you're already looking for and have already expressed interest in. Yeah,
there's just a lot of distortion right now with different tools and different apps, and they all serve a purpose, obviously, but there's a reason why so many people struggle with anxiety as well. There's just they don't know which ones to trust or which ones to go to, and next thing you know, your whole day's gone because what you're looking for could have taken like 5 minutes compared to hours on end.
Yeah.
So.
And so where did this? So let's focus back. So I think we're getting an idea of you a little bit, and so you're spending a lot of your time and a lot of your day talking with people. You've mentioned how badly you would like to have funding. You're asking people for money, which is always a lot of fun. So you're going to door and please give me money. And then you're also obviously trying to get the seed users for this network. Yeah. Where did it all start from? Are you even from Fargo originally?
No, I'm actually from Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay. And when did you come to Fargo?
Back in 2014, the first time. I had a friend that lived up here from, I went to high school with back in Arizona, and he offered a place, and I was like, I'll try a change. I'm 36 now, but this is back when I was 24, and with the time to where you just...
That's what you do.
Yeah, just hop on a plane somewhere, Yeah. And somehow, it was funny because my friends were like, you hate the cold. You're not going to survive 2 months. And I was up here for 4 years, but I came up here with my longboard and my bass, Ibanez 250, and I thought that there was something out there like this, you know. And so I looked around, couldn't find it. Went on
bass guitar.
Yeah.
You wanted to join a band.
Metalhead at heart.
Yeah.
Goth kid here back.
Yeah. Sure.
But. No, that was just always my dream, is playing bass in a metal band. And, I found a few different bands up here, but I was looking for original material, like, being more serious about it. But it was surprisingly hard. And then a friend's mom gave me her keyboard, and I took that as a sign from God that, hey, I'm going to take piano lessons. And next thing you know, I went to Schmidt Music the next day, got a piano teacher, and her name is Hannah. I haven't spoken to her in like almost 10 years now, but
you can send her this. Hi, Hannah.
Right.
Say hi to Hannah.
Hey, Anna. So I took private piano lessons, learning how to read and play classical music, and playing in a form of legato. Sure. And the word stuck with me. And plus, it just sounds sexy,
Yeah.
But
that's the name of a bad guy in Trigun. I don't know if you know that. You're much of an anime watcher.
No.
Yeah,
I'm like the only one of my friends.
The bad guy. It's like the bad guy in Trigun, or the number 2 bad guy in Trigun.
But it's the name itself means smoothly connected in Italian, and that's kind of an analogy for what we're doing. Is we're connecting people smoothly without the friction.
I love that. That's cool. And so that was a word that was attached to you when you came in 2014.
Yeah.
So you kind of became obsessed. Is that where the idea?
The idea, I was actually talking to my buddy Steven Yorkie. Hi, Steven. He'll probably see this. We were just kind of BSing around, and told him about it. He's like, dude, this would so work. This is back in 2016.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, I'm going to do this. And
that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's 10 years ago. You're living in
Manifesting.
Fargo. You're in Fargo. You're couch surfing?
No,
still
no,
the time?
no.
You finally got a place in Fargo.
No, I had a place within the first few months of living up here.
Okay,
I got my own place, but the idea was always in my mind, but it really didn't hit until I started a little bit after COVID, and then I started after talking with other people, I'm like, okay, I need to just do it.
Yeah.
And we had something really we had an Android-like one around COVID, and then honestly, COVID kind of saved us because everyone was free of work for a minute, and I was on LinkedIn, and I was able to actually, got my recruiting skills up and interviewing people left to right. I probably interviewed over 300 people, just from designers to developers to not investors, but the whole 9 yards. And
and so how did you do the interview process? You just hung out the shingle and said, "I'm hiring." Pay as equity stakes, that was the.
I pitched them what the idea is, the goal, the overall arching goal. They love the mission, they love the vision. I feel like my sales technique is definitely increased,
Well, the
but
more you try.
the story of it all, and people fall in love with it because it's a genuine story. Like it's the goal, and I switch out the process a little bit here and there, but honestly, it's just winging it. I didn't really have a process just because you're gonna laugh at this word. My business advisor, I was going Travis. There's a saying called, I don't know if you're allowed to say this on there, but
well, that is FCC,
okay.
So maybe
it's called startup P. If you know, I'm not going to say the last word, but startup. I was reading too much startup P.
Okay,
and it was just there's a point to where you need to stop reading and start doing.
Yeah,
or just fail quick, and as soon as I started doing that, things just started progressing. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so are you from Arizona? I almost want to paint the picture of you a little bit more because you've got, you don't quite have, I don't think, the Fargo vibes. You've almost got out west vibes. Were you born in California?
No.
Okay. Are you any guy with an app though? Usually seems to come from Silicon Valley somehow. But
no. It's I wish that would have made my life so much easier back in the early teens. Yeah. But no, Phoenix, Arizona, and then
the whole time.
And then moved up here when I was 24. At 28. Didn't try to get into the military. That didn't work out. I tried. MEPS actually had to tell me, please stop applying. We can't take you. And it was a health reason. So I was like, okay, I need to go.
Seemed healthy to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I was born with heart disease. I didn't find out until I was 28.
Yeah.
And I even had a couple cardiologists try to get them to. They recommended me to the military, but they're like, we can't take you.
That had to be really scary during COVID then, because COVID, all they were talking about was heart disease and myocarditis and all that stuff.
Yeah.
How true it was, it had to be scary.
Yeah. Well, the irony in that is I got on a workout train when I was 21, 22, got obsessed with it. I went from 120 pounds to 180 in 6 months' time.
Yeah.
Worked at a gym, and next thing you know, all through my 20s, I was either, doing martial arts or weightlifting, but it was obsessive, until, I hit my 30s. I'm like, okay, live life a little bit, don't live at the gym. But because of those, of those day-to-day activities and having more of a healthy life cycle, even my cardiologist is like, you're good. If I was in typical American with the typical American diet, then I would be absolutely be in trouble. But I go and see a cardiologist every couple of years, and my cardio is through the roof. So I have nothing to worry about. But if I lived a typical American lifestyle, my life expectancy would. I mean, if you Google it, my life expectancy was 35.
Exercise is the absolute best thing you can do. I can't recommend. I love making sure you get your heart rate. And when you don't, I got plantar fasciitis, and I wasn't able to exercise for a while, and man, I just fell apart. So. Okay, so you move up to Fargo here in 2014.
Yeah.
You're here for 4 years.
Yeah.
You get the idea kind of in your head, and then you leave. Where did you go?
Oh yeah, so I went to. I had a little travel bug, if you know what I mean. And,
the wanderlust, they call it.
Yeah, so I had a friend, my good friend,
You're
call him
28?
more like a brother, but my buddy Jared hit me up and he's like, hey, I got a place in Seattle, so next thing you know, I'm in Seattle for 4.5 years. And the first couple of years was a lot of fun. I mean, it was all quite the experience, but after COVID, it was like, whoa, just because I worked in downtown, like near Pike's Place. And during COVID, like when it was really bizarre. Yeah. But you want to talk about the arts community down there, in the Pacific Northwest.
So slow down on that. So what were you doing for work while you were up here the first time? Like what?
Manufacturing.
Yeah. Probably at Marvin Windows, or that's the place to go, right? It's a good place to go. They pay well.
They pay well.
It's a good place. I mean, that's why all roads lead to Fargo.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, forget this. I'm going to go see the arts community out in Seattle.
Yeah.
And Seattle, I mean, for people who don't know, I mean, that's a hip place.
Yeah. No,
they love their coffee shops.
It's
What's Pike's Place? I know it's the name of a coffee. I know it's a blend of a coffee that Starbucks produces that I enjoy the most of all their blends, but that's all about I know. So tell me.
Seattle, they're like the scenery is great. The people there are great. Unfortunately, right now, every Starbucks I visited or that I frequented when I was down there has they're closed.
Oh,
yeah. So
and that's where Starbucks is from.
Yeah, well, they closed one of their biggest. What do you call it? There's like 4 of them in the whole world, and one of them happened to be, or 2 of them happened to be in Seattle, and one of them they actually closed it down, and it was like on the Spurs notice. So I know this because I talking with people who have worked there or still in the scene, they would let me know that. But as far as jobs go, oh man,
what were you doing out there in Seattle? What's it like when because you're like what, 28?
Yeah.
You just go up there to bum around and see the arts scene, right?
So my first job, I was a valet supervisor at a place in Bellevue, Washington, and that was a little over a year.
Now I imagine being you weren't the valet, you were the valet supervisor.
I was a little bit both, because I was graveyard, but I got to drive the nicest cars.
Yeah. As the valet. Yeah,
and there's a few times where like there would be a guy with a Lamborghini or Ferrari.
It's a tip job, right? Tip jobs are the best.
Yeah, and
people don't know.
And there's a route you had to take, and there are certain times where it's like, no, I'm taking this like another 3 miles. Like this is so worth my job right now. So
fire me.
Just joyriding at like 3 o'clock in the morning, But no, I got to meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah.
I also worked at a place called Six Rent-A-Car. That's where a lot of my sales technique came into gear, but that's actually where I met my business partner Jamal. He came in. It was actually one of my colleagues at the time who was dealing with him, and he mentioned Cher, and I was like, wait, what? And this is around the time like we're starting to get going with Legato, and he had the appearance of like a Jimi Hendrix mixed with Lenny Kravitz, like that whole artsy thing. And so I Googled him, and then next thing you know, I help him out with his car, and then I pitched to him within a matter of like 2 minutes, and he was sold, and we've been partners ever since.
But the idea of Legato was when you were here the first time?
Yes.
So what was it like when you had the idea? Like, what was it was an app?
Yeah.
Like, the idea was, like, slow down on that a little bit. It was, you're just sitting and you're like, I know I'm going to build an app, or what? Like,
that was the original goal when I told a few friends, like, if you could do whatever you put your mind to, that is such a crock.
It is.
Anyone who thinks that,
you can't do anything.
That's great wishful thinking. It's just you're going to sign yourself up for failure. You need to find the right people with the right circle of competence, and that's definitely not my circle of competence. Is sitting there and trying to figure out how to code.
Yeah.
The idea kind of manifested. I talked to friends about it, and they were getting excited talking about it because when I converse with friends and just having fun, most of the time we banter here and there, but a lot of it's just ideas, like that. It just organically goes to ideas and like, oh, this would be cool, and just kind of bouncing, different thoughts on that. But Yeah, it really started coming together around 2021, 2022. And then, but
you were still in Seattle at the time, but
yeah.
Seattle was collapsing. You feel like due to COVID, like post-COVID, Seattle sucked. Was it there? There was a whole political thing going on there, right?
Well,
the autonomous zone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, when I worked at Six Rent a Car, the autonomous zone was like a mile away, and we couldn't rent to anybody who lived in that area.
What was that like? Like I don't like just living on the ground from that. Yeah, I mean you don't need to pass judgment politically. I'm just like when something so big is happening so near you.
Yeah.
Was it like I gotta go check? Did you have an urge to rubberneck it or like? Was it like
tried to get in, but they wanted to legit. They tried to charge me $10 to get into it. I'm like, I'm sorry, that's a sub sandwich for me. I'm not paying you $10 to get in. I was just curious.
Yeah.
But no, that lasted all about a month and a half, and it was so bizarre too because we were so close to it, but. Where I lived or where I worked, it kind of sucked though because like when drugs were rampant. I'm not trying to talk bad about Seattle. This is just my experience.
Yeah.
The garage I worked into as well. Like it was just when you had to close down the garage and close up for the day, and you got Bloods or you got the Crips that are doing drug deals in the garage, and you got to wait for them. Like, hey, could you do that over I'm closing like it and they were surprisingly nice about it, but there's a few times where I'm like I had a fanny pack on with the car keys and I just don't look like but they
look, no matter how you look, I don't want to get shot. You know what I mean?
I would text my boss. I'm like, hey, big problem here. I send a picture. Like, well, can you just ask him to leave? I'm like, I don't get paid enough for this. But they were surprisingly nice to me. It's just even though they're gang is doing drug deals in the garage, but what really changed though for me is when I was taking a public transit to work, and all of a sudden, like it's not that it was illegal, it's just it was not illegal to smoke for drug addicts to smoke fentanyl on the bus.
Oh boy!
And that was my cue to
I'm out of here. I'm done
well,
this.
not only that, they kept on changing the bus. They would remove the bus stops from one street to the next, and eventually it was just like, why do you guys keep on moving the bus stops? And it's like because there's too much criminal activity going on. And I was like a block away from where I worked, so it's like, okay, I'm done. So
at that point you said, I'm coming back to Fargo.
Well, I was gonna go back to Phoenix and live and go back home, but the problem is the rent has doubled from 2014 to 2024. The rent has literally doubled. And that so it wasn't very it didn't make sense to me, and I didn't want to work 2 full-time jobs just to make ends meet. So
Fargo is still a place where it's relatively affordable to live.
Yeah.
And I think that's due to our immigration policy. The cold, you must be this tough to live here, right?
Yeah.
And so we have a lot of people who come, but we have an equal number who leave.
Well, when people ask me how you deal with the cold, and the way I look at it is, look, if they could put up with it back in 1800s, early 1900s, we become soft. And it's all about mental awareness and perspective. And if you could just tell yourself that, hey, that people have dealt with this through ages, and so if you think about it too, like the 1950s and 1960s, that's the first time to where Americans actually had the availability of taking hot showers every day. So we're still new to taking nice hot showers. So
no, it is. People talk about, what are you going to do with all this wealth that's coming up, and we're reaching to like a singularity with scarcity and yada yada yada. But honestly, I feel like we're already halfway there. We are so, and people take it for granted because I think that's just the human thing to do. Is you develop a baseline, and then you're just always judging on that. But we are so insanely comfortable and wealthy and healthy. It's a good time to be alive.
100%.
The only time I'd rather be alive is maybe even further into the future. It's great. It's exciting.
It's just weird because some people, like when I see on Facebook, when I see on other platforms, it's like, well, do you have what hobbies do you have right now? Like what kind of circle do you have? Because if you're surrounding yourself with the same people with your same unhealthy mentality.
You're talking about all the black pilling and the doomerism where people are just everything's so terrible, and the boomers took it all from me, and the world is terrible.
And it's like pick up if you just pick up a good solid history book from the 1800s, and you could actually see what they dealt with. that's like, this is nothing, you know? And I mean, maybe I'm just preaching to the choir. I don't like, I just, from my experience and hearing other people's too, you just got to have the right mindset. But the biggest thing is, who's your circle? Yeah. You know, if you got the right circle, like, I feel like I have the right circle. Like, I'm rich when it comes to the people I have in my corner. But I work at Olive Garden full time as a server, and when I like certain
still right now, you know Jill Bierkin? You know Jill Bierkin?
Yeah,
that's my sister.
Oh, really?
Hi, Jill.
Hey, Jill.
How are you? Okay.
She's the bartender, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. You know, I see him as often as I would. Yeah. I have a very nice bottle of scotch that I wanted to give her. She's fell down the scotch rabbit hole, and I've got kind of a special one just for her. So I got to make
interesting.
I got to make a trip in there. Maybe come say hi to both of you. Come hi to both of you. Okay. Yeah. And so you came back to Fargo. You said it's at least affordable. I can at least get a job and live here.
Yeah.
But we were talking about all the doomerism and stuff. And yes, it's 100%. It's a problem of diet, right? Like you need to be taking in positive things, because something I realized in my 20s was, this was my early 20s, and it fell down when I realized, like, happiness is not a destination, it is a way of being, right? Like you just have to be
the journey.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just have to be happy. You don't get, it's not like so many people are like, once I get this and once I get this, once I this, then I'll be happy. Oh, I just need this one more thing. I need this deal to happen. I need this, that, or the other. And no, that's, if you're waiting for the thing to happen, you're never going to be, and that's why, like,
there's no perfect timing.
Well, people hit the lottery. Yeah. And you'd think they'd be set for life, but they're just the same person. You know what I mean? They're just the same person with more power. Yeah.
They're worse off.
If they're terrible people, and most people are pretty terrible.
Yeah.
But it's just accepting that, but then finding yourself in that circle. I feel like your app, I mean, I don't know. It's your app, and you've been working on it for 2 years or even longer. It sounds like since 2014. You've been working on it for 12 years. But I think you're almost limiting it too much with music.
So, interesting enough, there's other verticals we do plan on jumping into.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, tattoo artist. When it comes to just anyone in the creative realm, it's kind of like how Amazon started with just books, because they didn't want to confuse anybody.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to be everything for everyone, you failed.
Okay.
So we're trying to hit a niche market and really figure this out.
And you feel like musicians is that niche you're trying to grab?
I solved my own problem too, and multiple other musicians. And once we've actually figured it out, and once we've got all the bugs out and making sure that the process works and everything, and people are loving it, and we actually become a net positive for society as a whole and the culture, then we could dabble into other arenas. It's just that, you can only do one thing at a time. So
what's the future for Legato? What do you have coming up on the next month, the next year, the next 5 years? Like, where are you headed from now?
So right now, I got a couple of friends of mine. One of them I work with, Trey, and then another friend of hers who we become pretty we become friends too, Addie. They're helping me getting user stories on. So the biggest thing right now is just getting user density, but having people actually love what we're doing, not just download the app, not just like create a profile. There's an overall mission behind it, and once we get funding, we'll be able to actually catapult to the next level of like 500 or 1,000 users, and not just like musicians, people actually being able to build a band in a matter of a day, or finding your next jam session when you got the day off, and just being able getting away from all the prosaic platforms, like when you see a feed, if you could just eliminate that and you just get straight to the point, but also like connects and being able to express your self creatively within a period of a few hours, like we've conquered that. But I want to kind of touch base, though. You mentioned something a while ago, earlier on, what our business model looks like.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to say this in the most uncomplicated way, but the idea is once we get venues on board and provide those analytics to them with other local artists, musicians, so they don't have to hire a promoter if they don't want to, and then fans on board, once we actually start charging for those things, and possibly activity log, we're not charging anything right now just because we don't have a right to. We don't have enough we're not contributing enough value right this moment. But that being said, the idea is, like, let's say you're paying $10 a month. or 10% of whatever subscription is, we'll be using that and creating a charity of our own linked to the Legato Networks and being able to, like, let's say we get 10,000 paying subscribers. We would like to, the goal is to buy new and used instruments with that money and then personally deliver them to one underserved school in the U.S. A month. Cool. And because the biggest thing that we've noticed too is the first thing that school systems in general is they strip away the arts curriculum. And not football. I'm not saying anything bad about football, but any kind of sports, but the arts should not be stripped away.
Yeah.
And you're taking away the opportunity from kids, and that could not everyone's built for sports either, but most kids want to learn how to play an instrument. But if we could personally don't deliver these instruments to one school at a time, like grade school or high school, and help the next generation of musicians.
That's a very nonprofits do very well out here.
Yeah.
It's a nut that I'm always trying to crack about nonprofits on this show. We have a lot of people from nonprofits. So great idea. I'm sure I'm not sure why, but I'm sure it's a good idea. I should have warned you before we went on. The show goes very quick. I don't know if you're aware, but it is now 53 after. The whole hour is up.
Yeah.
What do you think? That was the show.
Yeah, no, I love it.
It goes pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to get out, or last thing to do is to talk about your music choice here?
Just spread the word. If it's not if our tool's not meant for you, I'm not going to ask you to download it, give it a try. But if it's something that you think would definitely benefit you in your life and a net positive, give it a try. Reach out to me directly, Facebook, Instagram, or my name is Silver Lining on the app. You can message me through there as well, and I'd be more than happy to talk with you.
Fantastic. And your music choice was, let's see here, Audio Slave with Show Me How to Live. You're a musician yourself, so obviously the music choice, that's not a light choice for you, right? Like that's gotta be...
It is a light choice. That's I listen to a lot of metal too, but Show Me How to Live and Like a Stone and a lot of stuff that Chris Cornell put out is just gold. Kind of like with whatever Jack White puts out, like that, like whatever he touches is gold. But it's just so creative, but also it just hits it. It makes you feel a certain way every time I listen to it.
Okay. One more time. Why don't you plug yourself? If people do want to get a hold of you, what is the best way directly to reach you?
Yeah, Facebook, just Zach Petty. Instagram, Zach at Zach _ Legato Networks, and then just go to those handles. And then if you really want to download Legato, my name is Silver Lining, and message me directly. And are you guys going to be doing anything browser based at all, or to interact with the app? Like Facebook, you can have the app, or you can do it in your browser. Do you have something like that? We will sometime next week.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, you let me know.
Yeah.
I absolutely very interested. I promise.
Yeah.
I'll sign up and be a user.
Yeah. Just if you want to reach out to me, Facebook Messenger, Instagram. I even created a little Teams Legato Testers Snapchat channel.
Oh, cool.
So if you want to, because turns out Gen Z does not like to use Facebook.
That's
a lot of them. So
that's true.
it's
I've come to discover. So I might have to reinstall Snapchat. Okay, and of course I'm Conrad Fargo.
Yeah.
You can find me anywhere. You type in Conrad in Fargo. If you have a keyboard, anything that allows you to type right in front of you, you just type Conrad in Fargo. I'll show up. You'll find me. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am a millennial, not Gen Z, so I require constant validation. So please, that subscriber number keeps me alive. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you, Zach, so much for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we will see you all next week.
Awesome.
Bye.